Let's take you straight to our top story on the show tonight then. The Mallya money trail may have just only begun. It's fast emerging now that the former liquor baron and of course the beleaguered flyer of Kingfisher Airlines may have siphoned out a big chunk of Kingfisher loans overseas. The Enforcement Directorate, which is probing money laundering charges against Mallya, has also expanded the scope of its investigations to include all 17 banks that lent money to his Kingfisher Airlines. ET now learns that ED has asked the banks to submit all loan documents and is likely to grill other bank executives over the next few days. This even as the agency continued to question Mallya's close aides A. Raghunath and Ravi Nedungadi.
ET now tracked down Nedungadi, who refused to confirm if Mallya will turn up for his date with ED on the 18th of March. Even ED sources say it's likely to be a no-show by Mallya, who has not even responded to the summons so far. Meanwhile, the ethics panel of the Rajya Sabha today met for the first time to discuss any possible action against Mallya. Karan Singh, who is heading the panel, said they are yet to take a call on Mallya's continuance in the upper house. The latest in the Mallya money trail, that's our top story on India Tonight.
And keeping in line with our big coverage of the Mallya gate, we've got a battery of reporters standing by with every aspect of one of the biggest corporate defaults in recent times. Vijay Ganeshan Iyer, Utkarsh Chaturvedi, Gauri Dwivedi and Joan Doggett join us all the way from Melbourne. Thank you very much, each one of you, for being with us. Vijay, to you then, third day of questioning at the Enforcement Directorate. The agency will now widen the scope of its investigations to other lenders who lent to KFA. What exactly are you picking up at this stage? Which way is this probe headed?
Supriya, as you rightly pointed out, ED sources have indeed confirmed that the prima facie investigation, they have come to the conclusion that indeed the monies have gone out of the country. So clearly, the probe which started from the IDBI 900 crore loan given to Kingfisher, of which 300 crores had gone out of the country. Now after investigation, they are saying indeed money on various pretexts and various ages were transferred to many of the accounts out of India. So clearly now this is going to be a larger probe. Even as we speak, it was just 15 minutes back, Nedungadi, Mallya's right-hand man and CFO of UB Group, just concluded his 5 hours of interrogation for the third consecutive date and was let go. Also earlier in the day, Raghunath, who came around 10:30, it's around 1:30 in the afternoon earlier in the day when was gone. So clearly ED is now looking at the whole of the aspects of the loans given by 17 PSU banks at this point of time, and they have also sought all the details by the 17 PSU banks, at what point of time it was given, the various timetable, what pretext it was taken. So all the documents have been summoned from the 17 PSU banks, and by today evening is when they had to submit it. So clearly ED now is increasing the probe to see how much cumulatively monies taken in the pretext of loan from the PSU, which has now turned NPAs, has gone out of the country at the end of the day.
All right, Vijay, Utkarsh, Gauri, stay with us because as we speak, there's news that's flashing on your screen. Vijay Mallya has tweeted again, indicating that he's not given any statement to Sunday Garden. Remember, it was in that interview to Sunday Garden that got a lot of publicity where he indicated that he's unlikely to come back anytime soon to India. So he's now denied the interview in the first place. He's saying, shocked to see media talk about that Sunday Garden interview. The media statements that I gave any interview to Sunday Garden, I have not given any statement to anyone. So in a sense, he's denying that interview and saying that that he was supposedly quoted to have having said in the interview, which includes the fact that he's unlikely to come back anytime soon and that he's disappointed with the way the probe is going. He is denying those statements being made in the first place. So that's a fresh twist to this ongoing saga. It's his word against the word of Sunday Guardian. I guess Sunday Guardian will have some answering to do now as well. We'll get reactions from them as well. But let's focus and get you a big exclusive while we are on that story. ET Now's Utkarsh Chaturvedi spoke to former UB CFO Ravi Nedungadi, and Utkarsh, in fact, is standing by for more details on that conversation. But first, let's listen in to what exactly did the former UB CFO tell Utkarsh in a chat earlier today ahead of being questioned for the third consecutive day.
Mr. Vijay Mallya is supposed to be questioned on the 18th by ED officials. Will he be present for questioning?
How can I answer the question? Only he can answer. He is saying that he will be available whenever he is required. So it's up to him.
Now, you have been questioned for 2 days by ED. What has been the line of questioning by them and what have you told them?
No, I am not at liberty to disclose what is. This is a formal government inquiry and I have to, what goes on there has to be kept confidential.
Now, IDBI's loan of 900 crores to KFA is now being probed by agencies. How could they sanction such a loan when KFA had negative net worth, and was the transaction above board?
Ask them. They're the ones asking the questions. They know both the question and the answers. I am not at liberty to talk.
So you're saying that you're not at fault in this case?
Please don't keep on calling me. This is really harassment.
Are you saying that all the allegations on you and Vijay Mallya are baseless?
The allegations are being played out by the media. So our position is very clear on it and it has been expressed already.
What people in the dock call harassment is what we in the media, and especially at the Times Network here at ET now, call persistent. And Utkarsh Chaturvedi, congratulations for getting the man who really is in the eye of a storm, along with Vijay Mallya, and that's Ravi Nedunguri in there. But he said on record, and he wants to be very non-committal on Vijay Mallya. What are there any leads that you're picking up just yet? Is he likely to be in India on the 18th of May? Because after what he said and was allegedly said to the Sunday Guardian that the atmosphere isn't right for him to return, he's just retracted almost everything that he said, saying he's not made any statement to anybody.
Supriya, what we are picking up from our ED sources as well, that they are saying that it is highly unlikely that Vijay Mallya will be turning on 18th. But if you look at the protocol which ED has to follow, it was the first summon which ED had sent. And if you follow the protocol, there has to be two more summons needs to be sent. So what we are picking up from our sources is that if Vijay Mallya does not turn on the 18th, then ED will be issuing the second summon, then the third summon, and finally a non-bailable warrant is something which will be really issued against Vijay Mallya. Now, one more important thing here is that Vijay Mallya has not even responded to the summons which have been sent to him by email, which makes the case much more confident that he is unlikely to come back. So that's what we are picking up from our sources at ED, that suppose if Vijay Mallya does not turn on 18th, then they'll be issuing a second summon, and then following the protocol, the third one and the non-bailable warrant.
Yeah, but we're breaking another big story on Mallya Gate. This is breaking right here on ET now. SFIO cracks the whip. Utkarsh is joining us with that story because even as the Mallya money trail is now extended to Grant Thornton, remember, which had valued Kingfisher Airlines at over 4,000 crore rupees some years ago. So they have to do some answering as well. For more on this big exclusive, let's toss it back to Utkarsh Chaturvedi. He's breaking that story at 9:10 right here on India Tonight. Utkarsh, which agency is looking into the valuation and what are the charges here really?
So at this point of time, Sandeep, what we are picking up from our sources is that SFIO, which is the Serious Fraud Investigation Office, is looking at the kind of valuation Kingfisher Airlines brand got. Now, the whole thing here is that Grant Thornton had valued it over 4,100 crores, and SFIO is believing, or they're looking at the fact that whether these valuations were inflated or not. Interestingly, if you see, last year SBI Caps had put the whole Kingfisher Airlines brand on the block, and there have been not any takers, and that's is what SFIO is at this point of time looking at, that how come Grant Thornton gave a valuation of a Kingfisher Airlines brand at 4,100 crores. So this is one more angle which is being probed into SFIO, and which we are breaking it here on ET now at this point of time. Mr. Vijay Mallya is supposed to be questioned on the 18th by ED officials. Will he be present for questioning?
Okay, I answer the question. Only he can answer. We can say that he will be available whenever he requires. It's up to him. No, I am not at liberty to disclose what is. This is a formal government inquiry and I have to, what goes on there has to be kept confidential. They're the ones asking the questions. They know both the question and the answer. I am not at liberty to talk.
All right, while things continue in New Delhi, here at Parliament, Mallya Gate continues to be a hot topic within the walls of the August House. An ethics committee of the upper house, headed by Karan Singh, met today and said that action will be taken according to the rules of the game, and Gauri Dwivedi was tracking that meeting. Looks like Mallya's days of parliamentary privilege could be numbered now, Gauri. Safe to assume that?
The 10-member ethics panel of Parliament today did discuss whether or not Vijay Mallya's membership should in fact be terminated, should he be sent a notice. So effectively it did take cognizance of the matter where Vijay Mallya supposedly as an MP has certain privileges something that is hindering the probe of investigative agencies. But one thing is for sure, the committee has taken cognizance of the matter and will meet again to discuss the issue further.
We just took cognizance of the chairman's. No decision can be taken because we have to proceed according to rules. We have certain rules by which we function. We don't function in an ad hoc manner.
While the committee can only make recommendations, it is up to the Secretary General of Rajya Sabha to decide and take a drastic decision as to whether or not any extreme action should in fact be taken against Mallya or not. But the important thing here is that Vijay Mallya's term as Rajya Sabha MP expires in June, and it's just a couple of months away, and that is why a lot of people in the ethics panel today had the view as to whether or not any extreme action is in fact needed or not at this stage. The important bit here is that before starting any probe against a sitting MP, Deputy Speaker's nod is needed. However, that has not been the case this time around, simply because Vijay Mallya is not in the country, and therefore a lot of people feel in the ethics panel that any drastic decision is not needed at all.
Okay, split in the ethics panel on whether or not they'll take some drastic steps or not. But political slugfest continues with the BJP and the Congress blaming each other for the Mallya mess. Congress today put out 5 key questions to Prime Minister Modi on the Mallya mess. Take a look.
We want to ask 5 fundamental questions from Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Firstly, will government seek deportation of Shri Vijay Mallya from England by putting pressure in order to recover 9,091 crore rupees of public money? Question number 2. Admittedly, Shri Vijay Mallya met Finance Minister Shri Arun Jaitley before he left. Admittedly, he also spoke to Union Finance Secretary. Did Shri Arun Jaitley inform Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi about the goings-on and the conversation that took place in the meeting? Question number 3. CBI converted its lookout notice. Was it being done under political pressure? And what was that political pressure may be specified and clarified? Question number 4. Enforcement Directorate has now issued a summons on 7th March asking Shri Vijay Mallya to appear on 18th of March. A court has also issued non-bailable warrants against him. Are all these proceedings a mere eyewash, as everybody knows that Shri Vijay Mallya has fled the country on 2nd March with no intentions of returning back to India? Question number 5. In lieu of sale of United Spirits, Diageo PLC had admittedly given 551 crores, sum of $40 million US, has already been received by Shri Vijay Mallya in an offshore account. How does Modi government propose to recover this money and take action thereon?
All right, and while politics does hot up and the Treasury and the opposition benches do get divided, with the Treasury benches now essentially saying that all these loans that Mallya has defaulted on or has siphoned money for were actually granted under Congress's rule, former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram has hit right back and said there were a series of banking frauds under Vajpayee's regime that the BJP simply refuses to acknowledge.
Well, I don't know the facts of the case, so I can't comment. But all I know is 20 banks lent him money. Was he had links with 20 banks? I don't know. But please remember, in 2002-2003, when Shekhar Gupta was editor of the Indian Express, he ran a series of articles called The Great Indian Bank Robbery. 2002-2003. Just jog your memory and ask yourself the question, who was the Prime Minister in 2002-2003? Nobody accuses that Prime Minister of being behind the loans. Therefore, if banks have lent wrongly to a person, banks are answerable. Banks will be answerable. If the gentleman you're talking to has received undeserved loans from the 20 banks, the 20 bank officials will be answerable to whoever is investigating the case. That's a perfectly right thing to do.
That's former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram coming in. Remember, most of these loans were given when the UPA government was in power, and for much of that duration, of course, P. Chidambaram was the Finance Minister, so that's the reason why he's being questioned as well. But anger against Vijay Mallya continues to rise after employees raised their voice on pending PF dues. The Labour Minister has now stepped in, and he's assured that the government will look into the matter and has even sought a status report on the entire issue. Listen in.
I have called status report of the Kingfisher to our CPFC, and any employee's fund is not properly maintained, our accounts are not, status report will reveal, and on that then what the procedure has to be taken, we will take it.
You have seen the report, or you are still to go through it?
Today I have called the CPFC, Central Provident Fund Commissioner,
yes,
and also any recoveries are there, and we will take action and we will give it recovery to employees.
All right, let's keep with that story, because Australian media has reported that Vijay Mallya has indeed been invited to the Grand Prix official welcome reception at the Government House on Thursday, and we've got Times Now's reporter John Doggett joining in all the way from Melbourne. Thank you very much, John, for being with us. Who exactly has invited Vijay Mallya for this Gala Grand Prix?
Dr. Mallya has been invited by the Australian Grand Prix Corporation as an official VIP. Now, that's not unusual, but of course, VIPs are just that. They get high status invitations. Dr. Mallya would have met the Premier of Victoria, Daniel Andrews, and also the State Governor. And just behind me are the prestigious Crown Towers as part of the Crown Casino complex, which is used to high rollers of varying types of reputations.
Right, you know, John, here in India, of course, the entire Vijay Mallya, loan default is a big talking point. Just wondering if are the authorities back in Australia even aware that Mallya faces serious charges here in India? We've had an enforcement agency issue summons to him. He's supposed to be here on the 18th of this month. Are the authorities there in Australia even aware of the facts of this case?
As far as we know, Australian police forces are not investigating Dr. Mallya. He's wanted on charges in India, and there's been no formal government-to-government request so far as to any inquiries into him. So he's here as a guest of the Victorian government, and he's been accorded a VIP status.
All right, John, Vijay, Utkarsh and Gauri, thank you very much, each one of you, for being with us, for really getting us up to date with a 360-degree analysis of that Mallya Gate, a story that we've truly been on top of. Thank you very much for sparing time and being with us with exclusive news breaks right here on India Tonight.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.